one, I need to make a confession, and you know, part of a confession is to acknowledge the problem in order to change your behavior. And I do need to confess that for the last few months I've been spending a lot of money on strippers, and I'm not proud of it. I've been obsessed with finding a stripper to satisfy my needs. And you know, when I was younger, I used to really enjoy watching a good stripper at work. It was very satisfying. And now that I'm older, things have changed. I need to face the fact that I'm spending a lot of money on strippers, and it's just not doing it for me anymore. I can't get any satisfaction. And so I've realized that I need to just take matters in my own hands. What? I'm talking about paint strippers. I need to clear that up. You know, my wife or mother may be watching this video, and yeah, don't get the wrong idea. But I've been spending a terrible amount of money on trying to find a stupid paint stripper that will perform, and all these products here, none of them have worked. I've tried this, that, this, you know, oh yeah, this is great. I've spent tons of money that I could have been spending on the rest of my project on trying to get these things to work. And finally, they're expensive, and they don't work like they used to in the old days. So I gave up spending money on them and get rid of them. And I found a couple of things that do work. Let me show you what does work. First of all, I got these from Amazon, and a couple of these from Harbor Freight, and they work really well. Let me show you a demonstration on that. Alright, I bought this bumper from Pull Apart. Came off a vehicle. It looked pretty good to me. The stock bumper I had a bad right hand side, so I picked this up, and just going to show you what I do now stripping paint, using the stripping pad from Amazon on this is an old cheap 4.5-inch grinder. So we've got our pad mounted on that, and some of the cracks and crevices we get in here. This is just a cheap $14 drill from Harbor Freight, and their nylon bristle stripping disc. And these things work great, but they do make a mess. You definitely need to wear a dust mask. I recommend gloves, safety glasses, of course, and definitely do this outside. So we're gonna get started on this here, and I'll show you that the stripping pad, it gets paint off, but it won't harm the metal if you just, you know, are just after the paint. You won't accidentally harm the metal. So we'll get our PPE on and see how much of this we can get off. Yeah, so that takes it off pretty good. What you saw here, you could probably see that I've ground out some body filler that was in this bumper. I couldn't see the repair from the outside with the paint because it looked good, but we've got a couple of ripples here, probably from where this car had a slight fender bend or something, but it's not bad. If the rest of it is okay, then I'll probably keep this bumper. If I find more damage, I'll get a replacement. But I will tell you this: the aftermarket replacement bumpers are not quite as good as the factory. Never are. The replacements, they don't weigh as much. The steel is much thinner, and I prefer to go back with a heavier bumper as opposed to an aftermarket. So I'll continue stripping on this, and get back when I get it all stripped, and we'll see what we've got. All right, got most of that. It took about 30 to 45 minutes to get the whole bumper. Now that was just with the grinder, and you can see there's some areas in this big step here that I didn't get real good with the grinder. So what we're going to do is take the drill with that rotary disc and get those areas. And luckily, we're limited to just having that repaired damage here, and I'll work that out with a hammer and dolly a little bit better, and that won't be a problem since we are going to paint this bumper again. There was no sign of rust, absolutely, so no other dings and dents. So I feel pretty lucky to get one that was in that good a shape. You know, you're always taking a chance on when you buy a used auto part, if it's going to work or not, if a fender is straight or not. It may look good in the junkyard, but then when you get it home, ultimately you probably are going to have a surprise. You're very lucky on an older car if you don't. You know, this is a 1998 bumper, so it's been out there quite a ways. So yeah, let me show you the drill with the rotary stripper thing in it, and we'll try to clean those other areas up. All right, there we have it. It's a dirty, dusty job, as you can tell. Definitely want to do this outside. But there's a lot of satisfaction in watching that paint disappear like that. So anyway, hope you all are well. Thanks for joining me. And until next time, be safe.